Hey everyone, this is the Broseph one and welcome to the second part of this Pokémon Platinum Nuzlocke, where we will be, hopefully, beating Gardenia, the second gym leader. I've decided to add a death counter from here on, which fortunately stands at a very appealing 0. Alright, first things first, we retrieve the rest of our team from the PC and teach Rock Smash to Holy Dam. At this point, I figured that it will be my HM slave. Sorry, buddy. Next, we head back towards Jubilife, and I was actually expecting a rival battle here, to be honest, but nope. He just dashes out like the acoustic, energetic kid he is. While beating a wild Zubat, Emo Bird levels up and learns double team. We replace it for Growl, and I decided to make a quick stop here in Arbor Gate now that I have a usable Rock Smash. And we find a TM for Flash and a Big Pearl, as well as an under-leveled Golbat, which left me thinking, if I had repelled my way through Arbor Gate and made this my first encounter, I'd already have a Golbat. Alas, I'll have to obtain it the normal way, through regular evolution of the Zubat. And given the fact that our next gym is grass type, we definitely want a Golbat by then. And luckily for us, Dracula, our Zubat, evolves at level 22, which is precisely the level cap. Reaching Jubilife City, we are greeted by Looker, the shady guy that works for the Interpol. He says that there's no one shady in Jubilife City, apart from himself of course, and these two galactic grunts we encounter next. I team up with Dawn and we face them both. I lead with my feeble Dracula in order to gain experience. I then switch into Sparkle, but then I realized, wait, I have a Geodude. Glameow and Stunky can't do much against it.
My goodness, what an idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Our Chimchar takes down Glameow with just 2 Embers, and all that's left is Stunky. Going 2v1, Stunky poisons Dwayne before being knocked out. And after this battle, we get our first evolution of the run. Sparkle evolves into a beautiful Luxio, so good thing we actually brought it up. And this is where I realized that I should focus on leveling up Dwayne for now, instead of Dracula. Although we won't use Dwayne in the gym, we have to bear in mind that we'll have a very challenging battle first against Commander Mars. I vividly remember this battle because, as a kid, our Perugly often gave my team a thrashing, and that's where he'll make the whole difference. I'm not a fan of skipping trainers in Pokemon, and we make no exception here. We challenge everyone in this route, and in this process, Emo Bird levels up to level 14 and also evolves. And this means we get another Intimidate in our team.
Let him cook now!
During a double battle against 2 Pachirisu, Dwayne learns Rock Throw as he can finally start doing actual damage. We head to Route 205, where this little girl asks us to save her dad from the evil Team Galactic. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. But first things first, we get our encounter in Valley Windworks, which is a Pachirisu.
Disappointed!
An adorable Pokemon, but unfortunately that's pretty much it. It offers nothing more than adorableness. This will be a backup electric type in case things go bad with Sparkle, which I really hope they don't. After some tough consideration, I decided to name her Oh Jeez!
You fucked with squirrels, Morty!
Oh jeez, oh jeez, oh jeez, Rick!
Right after that, we challenge this galactic grunt guarding the door, slowly but surely defeating his Glameow with Dwayne. We were even put to sleep with Hypnosis, but eventually Dwayne lands that very welcome crit, leveling up to 12. Now we have to go back and talk to those 2 grunts we saw earlier in Floroma, and looks like they've entered this meadow and they're trying to rob this poor guy's honey. So we teach them a lesson and get the honey ourselves, as well as the key to the Windworks. We enter the building and challenge these 2 grunts. Meanwhile, Dwayne reaches level 15 and learns yet another important attack, Magnitude. If we are lucky enough, Magnitude can deal even more damage than an Earthquake. Now all that's left is Commander Mars, and even though we have a Geodude, this won't be easy at all. our chunky and extremely underleveled Perugly will definitely cause us trouble. And I say underleveled because typically we can only get a Perugly at level 38 when Glameow evolves. But for some reason, Mars has one at just level 17. And even though we can easily take down Zubat, I'm still a bit concerned because it actually knows Toxic, and I don't want Dwayne to become poisoned. So my strat will be to lead with Sparkle and give her the Quick Claw, which has a 10% chance to make us move first. Alright, let's kick her out of here. And would you look at that, we actually get the 10% Quick Claw coming in clutch. Sparkle goes first, and her Spark obliterates Zubat, which means we don't have to worry about Toxic. That's one obstacle out of the way, but the real one is yet to come. I had a feeling she would go for Fake Out, which translates into a free switch, but either way, switching would always be the best play here. We send out Dwayne and she does indeed go for Fake Out. Now, I'm a bit hesitant about the best thing to do here because I could start switching between Sparkle and Emo Bird to get their Intimidate Sproxing, but I decide to go for Magnitude. And that was definitely the best decision possible, as we hit a Magnitude 10. That's 150 base power right there. Our first ever Magnitude. And as expected, it does hit pretty hard, but not enough because Perugly is just too tanky. I go for another Magnitude, but this time it was much weaker, only Magnitude 6. With half HP, I can still survive a Fate Attack crit, so I go for another Magnitude. But damn, only 6 again. She survives with like 1 HP, but I obviously can't stay. I decide to send out Emo Bird despite the fact that it's very squishy. But since it has Intimidate, it should be fine. My plan is to finish her off with Quick Attack. Feint Attack deals some damage, but as expected, we weren't in any danger of getting one-shotted with a crit, so we are able to finally take her down with Quick Attack. Wow, that was a great battle. We got really lucky right on the start though. We go outside and Looker takes a look inside the building to see that we have kicked everyone out. And now we are ready to catch another Pokemon. I accidentally triggered this trainer battle before that, so sadly Dracula won't get any XP points here. And he'll definitely need them because he has a lot of levels to catch up. Moving on to our Route 205 encounter, and it's a Buizel. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly, that's how I always pronounce it. I really like this Pokemon. It's such a great water type, but I think I'll prioritize using Psyduck as my main water type. I name her Jessie, for no particular reason.
Yeah, bitch!
I then took the opportunity and battled every single trainer in this route, focusing my training on Dracula. By the time I beat the last one, Dracula was level 11, which is not bad, but we definitely still got a whole lot of leveling up ahead of us. As we enter Eterna Forest, this girl named Cheryl asks us to team up with her, meaning that every battle is a dual battle now, including wild battles. And this is exactly what we needed, especially considering the fact that she always heals our party afterwards. And on top of that, we also get another encounter, so let's see what's in store. Alright, it's a choice between Budew and Baniri. And you know what? To make things even more interesting, instead of choosing which one I want, I'll let the Wheel of Fate decide which one I'll get. And looks like I'll be catching the Baniri. But before that, I make sure to feint Cheryl's Chansey, because she could easily kill either one of the wild Pokemon, which means we wouldn't get any encounter whatsoever, and we surely don't want that. No hard feelings, Chansey. Next comes Budew, the unchosen one, and now we can start catching the Baneri. We name him Bugs Bunny for very obvious reasons, and afterwards we take the opportunity to battle some wild Pokemon. Every level up for Dracula is an absolute win, a step closer to our main objective here, and as he reaches level 12, I decide to challenge the first trainers we can encounter here. With Dwayne's help, it's actually a very straightforward and easy battle. And during this very battle, Dracula levels up to 13 and learns Bite, which is a huge improvement over Astonish, and we can finally deal some damage. Well, kinda. Unfortunately, we are still dealing some very mediocre damage, and I know that these next couple of minutes are going to be rather tedious. Reminder that Zubat only evolves at level 22. Yikes. But alas, it must be done. I know the impact a Golbat will have on this next gym. I could probably beat Gardenia with just Staravia, but still, I don't want to take any risks. Better safe than sorry, always. On a very poor decision, I decide to lead with Psyduck to challenge these next Psychic trainers, knowing that they both have 2 Abras, each one knowing Hidden Power. Now, Hidden Power is a very distinctive move, because its base power and typing vary completely, depending on the individual values of the Pokemon using it. This roughly translates to, I basically can't predict if they will hit hard or not. I say that leading with Psyduck was a poor decision because, as you can see, there was a chance that 2 Hidden Power might have killed it. Luckily for us, the second Abra decided to attack Chansey instead. And look at that, it was super effective. This means that it's a guaranteed fighting type. This is good. I switch into Sparkle, but her special defense isn't all that great, as she's pretty much receiving the same damage as Psyduck. And although that Abra is almost fainted, I can't stay, since they are both quite fast. Now I just have to figure out what's the other Abra's hidden power type, or kill it of course. Good thing he wasn't super effective against Emo Bird, and fortunately Chansey lands the Egg Bomb to finish off that Abra. Very nice. And now I know I'm going against a quote-unquote fighting type, which means that Dracula is 4 times resistant to its damage, being a poison flying type. And just like that, boom, the second Abra goes down. I felt a little bit uncomfortable during this battle, because I know that if both Abras decided to attack my Pokemon, and if by any chance one of them crit, I would lose a member of my very esteemed team here. But very happily so, that wasn't the case, and we can proceed without any issues. This next battle was pretty straightforward, just some bugs being squashed by Dwayne. Funny thing though, he leveled up to 18 and was going to learn Self-Destruct, which, yeah, okay, it might be a useful move, even in a Nuzlocke, as a final kamikaze goodbye. But for safety reasons, I decided not to learn it. I know how clumsy I am, and I could just see myself accidentally clicking on Self-Destruct and killing my dear Dwayne. We get a Dracula level 15, 16, and by now we don't have any trainers left to battle, so we must entirely rely on wild Pokemon to reach level 22. There's a chance we encounter a wild Beautifly and or Dustox, which provide much more XP, but unfortunately it's a very small chance of just 1%. Not much can be said about this process, it was all just grinding basically, and bear in mind that I'm playing the game in normal speed. This speed up is actually done when I'm editing the video, so yeah. Eventually Dracula reaches level 17 and learns Wing Attack, which is Mega Dub, as we can finally deal even more damage with a stab flying type, and not to mention that most wild Pokemon here are either bug or grass type. During this wild battle, Dracula gets hit with a Frustration, which pretty much deals half of its HP, meaning that a crit here might have killed it. I really can't mess with these Baniri. Fortunately though, they only learn Frustration at level 13, so all those below that level aren't really that threatening. As Dracula finally reaches level 20, I decide to exit Eterna Forest. Cheryl gives us the Sooth Bell, which is pretty great, considering that Dracula, once it's a Golbat, will require a high level of friendship in order to evolve into a Crobat. And that's exactly what this item does. It doubles the rate which a Pokemon gains happiness, and this is acquired to walking a certain amount of steps, leveling up, using vitamins, and through many other methods. And let's not forget, we caught a Baniri earlier, which also evolves through high friendship. I battle all these fishermen, including the one who has a team of 6 Magikarp. Why does this guy have to exist in every single game? Obviously, his team is way too overpowered. I mean, 6 Magikarp are just simply too much, and I can't beat him. So I end up losing the run here. Well, GG. Kidding, of course. No amount of irony could ever make that remotely believable. We head into Eterna City and we are greeted by our rival, who proceeds to show us this weird looking statue of a fusion between Palkia and Dialga. But what's truly important here is that we actually get another encounter in Route 211. And it's a Meditite. Okay, that is very interesting. I like Medicham, the evolution. It can be quite the reliable Pokemon, but sadly, it takes a while to evolve, and as a Meditite, it's actually quite weak. We name her Sensei, and I think it's a very suitable nickname for this Pokemon. And now we actually get another encounter. That's right, if we go inside Mount Carnet, we can catch our final Pokemon before the second gym. And oh my days, it's a Bronzor. No way. This thing is an absolute beast. And I'm not even joking, seriously. Okay, not Bronzor itself, but rather its evolution, Bronzong. It is perhaps one of the best supportive Pokemon out there, even to this day, thanks to its incredible tankiness, possibility to learn both Light Screen and Reflect, as well as weather moves, and of course, being a steel type, it actually has some pretty solid resistances. Overall, it's a really good Pokemon. I name it Escudo, which is how you say shield in both Portuguese and Spanish, and this reflects the defensive and supportive nature of this Pokemon. Thus, Bronzor is kinda just basically a shield with a cute smiling face. Okay, I know that's not actually a smile, but I mean, it does kinda look like it. As I go back to Eterna City, Cynthia gives us the HM for cuts. Now, who the hell is Cynthia? I've clearly never seen this character before, no way.
My time has come.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
Nah, she's just a random girl passing by, of course. But anyways, I take this opportunity to check out all the new additions to this very promising team. And I discover that Jessie is bashful, a neutral nature, which is always okay. Bugs Bunny is careful, which is pretty good, considering that he's a physical attacker with a lot of special defense. And most importantly, he has Runaway instead of Klutz, which is awesome. Next, Sensei has a gentle nature, which not good, not bad. And finally, Escudo has a serious nature, which is yet another neutral nature, which is okay. And it has heat proof, which makes fire moves not hit as hard as they usually would. However, Levitate would have been better, since it turns a weakness into a full immunity, rather than reducing damage. But still, I'm more than just happy with this team, and we are really starting to cook some promising potential here. And now, it's gym time. Considering that Gardenia is a grass type leader, the picks here are a no-brainer. I'll take both my flying types, which should be more than enough to get the job done. As for my third Pokemon, I'll take one of my Bidoofs, just in case things start to get dire and I have to sacrifice someone. But I'm almost entirely sure that this won't be necessary and that this Bidoof will live to see the light of day. Even as a Zubat, Dracula wipes the floor with these trainers, and on the second one, we get the Vital level 22. Which means that we finally get our dear beloved Golbat.
what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
And now we are definitely ready to go. Before we challenge Gardenia, let's just look at her team. She leads with a Turtwig, which acts as her support Pokemon to set up Reflect and Sunny Day, which synergizes very well with Cherim and its ability, Flower Gift. But other than that, she can't really do all that much, as she can only deal grass damage, apart from Roserade's Poison Sting, which is almost useless. Alright, let's roll. As I mentioned, she leads with her Turtwig, which is actually kinda tanky, since it survived Emo Bird's Wing Attack. It goes for Reflect, which kinda sucks, because I'll only be using Wing Attack, which is a physical move, of course. After Reflect, my Wing Attack is dealing around 1/3 of Turtwig's HP, which is no good. Fortunately though, I do have Double Team, and my plan is to spam it until Reflect wears off. She sets up Sunny Day, which is kinda lame, but honestly I was already expecting that. It was only a matter of time. I keep spamming Double Team, and eventually Reflect does wear off, and now it is time to get rid of this Turtwig. Easy peasy. Up next comes Cherim with its melodic and beautiful cry, and it transforms into its Sunny form, which is kinda cool. Other than its appearance, however, I don't think this form is much different from its original one. Sadly, it knows Magical Leaf, so I don't get any benefits from all the double teams I used earlier, but that's okay, it still doesn't deal that much damage. Fortunately, its ability, Flower Gift, boosts attack instead of special attack. Another Wing Attack gets the job done, and it seems that Emo Bird is coming in clutch. But I still have the star of the show waiting, and after all that tedious grind, I'm obviously going to use it. Duh! Out comes Dracula, and being a poison flying type, her grass moves are obviously going to be harmless. Yeah, 5 damage. She switches to Grass Knot, but it's not much better, only 7 damage. And now you can clearly see why I chose to level up Dracula and evolve it. She is no match for me. Roserade consumes her Citrus Berry, but it's no use. She's just prolonging the inevitable. Not even this Grass Knot crit could save her. She never really stood a chance. Dracula finishes her off with another Wing Attack, and there you have it, the second gym battle. For this absolute victory, we are rewarded with the Forest Badge and the TM for Grass Knot, which is pretty much the grass type special version of Low Kick. It deals more damage to heavier Pokemon. Pretty solid for certain specific situations. Well, one could easily say that Gardenia was a walk in the park, quite literally so, but that's only because I have the privilege of having 2 reliable and very important flying types on my team. And this is doubly awesome. Do you know why? Because our next gym is a fighting type gym. And we are going to find out exactly if it's going to be such an easy win like the one we just pulled off, or if we are actually going to struggle and fall short of our high expectations. All this and much, much more coming up on part 3. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.